Welcome to another edition of On the Lesson Tee with Brad Redding. In this lesson, I want to show you some things that I can do that would be considered extreme. I think that the more you find the opposite of where you've been, and the more you make someone move what they think is a mile, they only move about an inch. So I think it's important to help your students get to where they want to go, but sometimes you have to go a little unorthodox to get them there. In this session, Bob was having some real issues with the ball flight. Most of them tend to go to the right. A lot of top shots, a lot of very thin shots, but more top than anything else. And so we kind of did some things at the beginning, helped him get into a better posture, worked a little bit on his grip. But what I had to do was really work a lot on how the club traveled. On the way back, obviously low inside, a lot of lifting on the way back, and then the obvious over the top on the way down. Now, Bob is 75 years old, so there's not a lot of things I can do with his body in terms of helping him move his body better, because he has arthritis in his knees, arthritis in his elbows, he has some back issues. So what I need to do is kind of focus more on what the golf club does and not so much what his body does. So what I did was we kind of discussed how the club should be working, and I helped him find more of the opposite of where he's been. So again, trying to do some extreme things here. What I did is I brought Bob to the inside. I used what I call my plain pillow here behind him. And I said, Bob, we got to go the opposite. You definitely have a loop in your golf swing. It goes in, up, and over. So, Bob, what I want to do is get you to go the opposite way. I want to go more up, in, and under. And so I had Bob make about 25 to 30 of those. And I kind of moved him through it a few times to help him feel it. But I kept him doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And pretty soon he started kind of getting a feeling of the shape of his golf swing. Again, more up, in, and then under. To him, that was very, very extreme. He was kind of laughing at me a little bit, saying, Brad, that's not going to work. And I said, well, indulge me for a second, Bob. Let me try to get you to do that a few times, and let's go outside and see if we can't copy that. So what I had him do was I built a little station for him here. One stick on the ground, one stick on the angle of his club shaft at address. Golf ball would always go out here. You've seen me use this drill before. And well, I said, Bob, we're going to do the same thing, kind of like that pillow's behind you. We're going to go more up. We're going to go more in, and then much more under. So obviously that path on the way down versus this path on the way down, pretty radically different. That's going to help him find more of the back of the golf ball. Now, he hit the stick a few times. I wasn't worried about that because the club's coming definitely more from the inside. So if he got too close to the stick, he would actually hit it. But what I had him do was do it over and over and over and over again until pretty soon he started kind of getting a sensation of that shape and realized that if he did that, that would find more of the back of the golf ball. Up, in, and then much more under versus over. Much more under. So that would go more in the back of the golf ball. Now, Bob did a lot of things in his downswing as far as from impact through to get the club out of the ground. This downswing on the left here, that would go on the ground a whole lot unless Bob kind of took his arms and retracted them, pulled them back towards him, which is why his elbow tends to come out like that. He did that out of necessity because if he actually ever extended his arms, he'd go about 4 feet in the ground. So he would never do that. So the first few shots were pretty thin because again, he's trying to pull his arms in like that. But what I had to do, I said, Bob, let's just keep going that way. And I did it over and over again. I moved him through it a few times, had him do a few on his own. Much better here, more in the back of the golf ball. Golf ball got in the air. And all we did was keep on doing that over and over again. So the moral of the story here is this. You know, I need to get people to find the opposite as fast as I can, because that way they can find the middle pretty easily. But when I go extreme and exaggerate the motion, they tend to improve faster. Arms aren't pulled in there as much. So, again, the goal for me was to help Bob find the opposite. I needed the club to go more up, in, and under. Well, this is definitely more up, in, and under. And when he did that, he could find the back of the golf ball. Over here, he's going to find the top of the golf ball almost every time. Over here, he's going to find more of the back of the golf ball. More in the back of it. A little bit on the toe, but the golf ball got in the air, and he started making these better this better motion, which definitely improved his driver. And that was the one he needed the most help on, was the driver, because with his driver, as you very well know, we need to exaggerate the driver, and it's got to catch the golf ball on the upswing. Well, here's me moving Bob through it. I sit up to him, and I do this a lot with my students. Help them feel the opposite. More up. Got his wrist to work a little differently there. And then I drop it way under. Way under. Help him feel that. That's what he would do, is kind of pull on it. I'd go this way. He wants to go that way and pull on the golf club. I've got to get the club to catch up. So I kind of show him what he does, what I want him to do on the way down. That way, not that way, more this way. And when he comes in that way, the club face can actually close. Now I'm going to move him through it and help him feel it. Okay? But he's actually using the golf club there. Before, he was trying to pull on the golf club. So I have to help them feel where they've been. There's you, Bob. That's what we want to do. And I do that over and over and over again until he gets kind of the shape of it. So I think they have to kind of feel it. And obviously, there's no question, this is way too much. On the way back, way too much. But that's the idea. Help him feel that. Kind of going outside. Going outside. Dropping inside. Get him to use his hands. Let the club face kind of pass his hands. And then once I had him do that, I stepped out of the way. I said copy that motion. So again, it goes back a lot better. Not way inside like it used to. I'll kind of do the before and after here. So there's the after. Over here is the before. So on the way back, here we go in, up, and then over. He was always pulling on the golf club. Over here, just the opposite. It goes more up along the plane, and then in, and then under. Obviously there, no elbow folding out to the behind him. Actually closed the face that time, and I had him do that over and over again, and pretty soon he got the sensation for it, and I said, okay, let's try it with a golf ball. Same motion on my back, much better, more in, definitely more under, and that will go right in the back of the golf ball. Yeah, it's on the toe, and we worked on that. I gave him a little bit of what I call instant relief by moving the golf ball more towards his heel address. I call that instant relief. I don't call that a band-aid. To me, it's instant relief. And pretty soon, he started making better contact with the golf ball. So my goal was always to help him find the opposite of where he's been. And by helping him find the opposite, he could find the middle. Okay? So when you're helping your students, it's a great idea to kind of help them find a little bit of the opposite. I used that pillow to help him understand where he was and where I wanted to go. So right here, using my pillow, called my plain pillow, turned it up on its end. I said, Bob, we gotta go the opposite. More up, in, and under. So he's kind of getting this feeling for the shape, and then once he got the feeling for the shape, I can put it into action out here on the golf course, on the range, tap him where he's been, to fix where he's been, and where he needs to go. Alright, so hope that might help some of you with your teaching. Hope it might help you understand some things that you can do in your golf swing to make it better. And again, stay tuned for another edition of On the Lesson Tee with Brad Redding. Thanks.